One of the most common objections to Christianity today is the charge that all Christians are hypocrites. Typically, we hear critics saying things like, Christians don't practice what they preach. They say one thing, but then they go and they do something else. And they've got double standards when it comes to their morality. Unfortunately, this is a pretty powerful objection, but we also have to realize that it comes from a complete misunderstanding of what a hypocrite is and does. So today, we're talking about hypocrisy and how to defeat it. Hey there everyone, my name is Dwayne Bryant. It's great to have you back with us again. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, I'd like for you to consider doing that, and if you click the bell, when you subscribe, you'll get an email notification every time I post something new. Well, today our theme verse for our video is Matthew 23, verses 25 to 28. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you clean the outside of the cup and the plate, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. You blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and the plate, that the outside also may be clean. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are like whitewashed tombs, which outwardly appear beautiful, but within are full of dead people's bones and all uncleanness. So you also outwardly appear righteous to others, but within you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness. When we hear the claim that all Christians are hypocrites, what that usually means is Christians say one thing, but do something else. And this is a long-standing but erroneous assumption. In his book, The Devil's Dictionary, Ambrose Bierce defines a Christian as one who believes that the New Testament is a divinely inspired book, admirably suited to the spiritual needs of his neighbor. One who follows the teachings of Christ insofar as they are not inconsistent with a life of sin. Well, he's not alone in that assessment, but it's not very accurate either. When someone says Christians are hypocrites, what do they mean by that? Well, typically it's something like Christians say that you shouldn't sin, but they do it anyway. Well, here I think we have to understand that advocating a high moral standard, but sometimes falling short of it, is not the same thing as hypocrisy. Now, we all know that no one is perfect, no matter who you are or what you believe. And no one is ever perfectly consistent with their own beliefs. Now, it's one thing to be imperfect, but it's something else entirely to be a hypocrite. And this is because a hypocrite is someone who is inherently deceitful. They claim to have a high moral standard, but it's really for appearances only. They want other people to think highly of them. And then, under the cover of secrecy and deception, they violate their own professed moral code, and they think absolutely nothing of doing so. Well, a hypocrite is a pretender, a charlatan, and fundamentally a liar. They have no remorse for their sin because their supposed righteousness is nothing more than a cover. Now, Jesus continually condemned hypocrisy in the Gospels. He also condemned half-hearted faith. He asks questions like, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do what I tell you? Other biblical writers are equally adamant that we should live an exemplary life. The Bible teaches that Christians should be committed to the truth and committed to living an authentic life that is based on biblical morals. Part of that is being honest with our shortcomings. In 1 John 1:8, it says, if we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. We have to be consistent. And I think we see one example of this. 1 John 4, verse 20. If anyone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother whom he has seen cannot love God whom he has not seen. Well, Christians are called to live lives of moral integrity. Now, we're not always going to be successful. There are going to be times when we fall short, but that is not the same thing as hypocrisy. Even so, you and I are called to be salt and light. That is, we're called to be visible to others around us. When we stumble, and we will, it is imperative that we demonstrate remorse and that we do our best to make things right without getting defensive or minimizing our failures. Hypocrisy is unchristian no matter how you look at it. And it's something that doesn't just undermine our individual credibility, it does that for everyone who wears the name of Christ. The best way to defeat hypocrisy is to hold ourselves to the same standard we require for everyone else, to refuse to excuse our sins, to behave consistently regardless of who may or may not be looking. Hypocrisy is one of the greatest evils a Christian can commit. It is a completely inauthentic way to live. And what you and I are supposed to be doing is imitating the character of God and His Son, Jesus Christ, in everything that we do. Well, everyone, thanks for spending a little bit of your day with me. See you next time.